how you doing? Lekai, dumelang. How's your day going? Hey, I really hope your day is going okay, or that you had a great day, or that as you're preparing for your morning, you go out and you go have a great day. All of this depending on what time you're watching this video. But thank you, regardless of what time it is. I really appreciate that you took a moment to jump onto YouTube and press this link to watch this video. I really appreciate it. I'm Mesh, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I was advised not to say this, but I'm going to say it. This is my first YouTube video. No, I should have taken the advice. I think I'm lying. No, it's not. It's not my first YouTube video. I've posted YouTube videos before because I kind of got myself in this situation a while back. And as part of that journey, we had to post some things on YouTube. So this is not my first YouTube video, but this is definitely my first official YouTube video under my channel. Something which I'm doing intentionally, knowing good and well what I'm doing and what I'm getting myself into and what I intend to do with this platform. At that time, I was a kid. I was taking my marching orders from someone else to fulfill a checklist of some kind for that particular journey. But anyway, that's a story for another day. We'll get into it eventually. But right now, we're going to get into this get to know me video. So I decided to go with a get to know me tag for my first video because I don't know, I wanted to come here and introduce myself to you guys, without having any assumptions already made or whatnot. Obviously, you're going to get to know me your own way and we'll build a beautiful relationship going forward. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to express and say, well, guys, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing here. And. So I really hope you appreciate this video. I also hope that you appreciate the other videos that will be coming after this one because they will be coming. And yeah, man, let's walk this beautiful journey together, guys. Because I don't come. You see this? Because I don't come. Hey, I'm a mom of 2 babies under the age of 2, so I had back-to-back pregnancies. Forgive the flab, but I'm in the process of trying to manage it. But forgive the flab. Anyway, let's get into this video. I wrote down a couple of questions that I kind of just wanted to get into. And yeah, man, first and foremost, I'm Mesh, but that's not my mom given name. Mama doesn't Meshi, Mara Mesh, Work. No, my mom looked at me, then I can Mashie. And there's a beautiful story behind that name. And so the reason I introduced myself as Mesh is because my name has been butchered so many times. I even just said it now, got a Meshi. I had a friend in varsity who called me Mashie, and I asked her not to, and she was like, "No, I'm not calling you Mashie because I'm mispronouncing your name. Word playing on your name, but so it's Mashie with a Y, not with an IE, like how your name is written." That still annoyed me. Still, it was coming from a good place, but it did annoy me because A, I'm not Mashie. B, I'm not Mashie. Mashie. I best say that imagine an invisible Y between the I and the E to make it easier for you to say my name. But I got to a point where I was tired of correcting people about how best to pronounce my name. Because I could say, man, for some reason, once we've made up our minds about something, even if the person whose name this is says that's not how you say my name, some people will not be bothered to say the name correctly. Whatever they think you are is what they'll call you, and that's that on that. So yeah, let's just go with Mesh. It's easier, straightforward. No one can mispronounce it unless it's Dragamabo. Then I know you're really just trying to mess with other people. So I'm Mesh. I'm 31 years old. I'm a mom, as I did say. I'm also a homemaker, and I work remotely as a freelancer and a general virtual assistant. I'm also a blogger. But then I'll kind of explain why the blogging part is at the tail end of my career at the moment. And yeah, that's basically what I do. And most of my content will revolve around that, around me being a mom, being a homemaker, and working remotely because that's basically my life. That's what I do every day. I wake up and I'm a mom, and I make a home for my kids and my partner, and I work. Depending on how my contracts are looking, and. But yeah, I wrote down a couple of questions to help streamline this process, and I'll get into all of them. However, if there's something you'd like to know that I did not include in these questions, let me know down in the comment section or jump onto my DMs on Instagram. That's the one place I proper check DMs most frequently. Facebook, I try, but Instagram, I definitely do check my DMs there. I will link my Instagram profile down below, and also I'll put my username so you guys can find me on Instagram if you're intrigued. I hope you are. But yeah, first question, why blogging? And the reason behind my blog. My blog is called L, which stands for Endure, Love, Evolve. So basically, it's Endure, Love, Evolve. Um, the first time I wanted to go into blogging was about 10 years ago, but my confidence was not there. It wasn't there yet. I did try on some free domain situation to have a blog, and I didn't really keep to it. I walked away. And then it just kept coming back. It just kept coming back. I won this competition where people were offering to kind of set up a blog for me. Da, 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 da. Because I won, I had to have a blog for like that time. So after the year, and I had to start paying them. Remember, this was a US company. And I didn't have dollars at that point. Mm, so many dollars just to keep a thing alive that I wasn't really invested in at that time. It wasn't feasible. So that blog also went. And then eventually I decided, okay, now I'm doing this. I'm ready to do this. Let's get into it. And when I decided to do that, initially that's where Endure Love Evolve came from. I'd learned from all the mistakes I made with the two other blogs, and I was hopeful. I was looking forward to this. At that point, I was still deep in the migraine community. I grew up with chronic migraines, so that was going to be my basis and my content and my niche and all of that. But there were touchy subjects around my migraine journey, my health journey that I didn't want to get into. I really didn't want to get into. It was the one thing I wanted to talk about, but also it was the one thing that I didn't want to get deeper into, which is a contradiction. And you could say God just was like, bid your time. You will have something you're comfortable to talk about and get into without feeling like you are betraying yourself, which is motherhood. Um, so when being a mom came, when I became a mom, and I got into being a mom, I did realize that, man, the one thing I talk about and I want to talk about and I enjoy talking about is being a mom. And the theme still applies into your love evolve. We endure so much as mothers, and we love so wholeheartedly. Listen, it's just pouring out of all of our pores, and also we're receiving love. That unconditional, no strings. I'm just here because I want you kind of love, and also we grow. Nothing will raise you or kind of help you grow like being a mom. You know, it's a beautiful journey, and one I'll be getting into with you guys. So that's when I decided to go into blogging seriously, and I did that. I set up my blog. I had a domain. No. Okay, I'll be back. Just give me a second. Just need to take care of something. But yeah, so I got into it, and as I was getting into it, I got pregnant for the second time, and I decided to focus on that, like I did with my first one, and so I did. Now I find that I'm in a position where I was when I got into the blog initially, with my second, where I'm ready to start kind of dividing my time between the kids and work and everything else. Um, okay, I'm going to go feed someone. Yes, I'm just gonna go feed someone and then I'll come back to finish this video and answer the some questions that I have.
This is my first video.
I'm back. Like I said, I'm a mom of two tinies, under two. One of who is a toddler. We rakokota more toddlerhood. So that happens a lot. That will happen a lot. Just expect to have a whole lot of disrupted situations because I'm a mom. But anyway, yeah, let's get back to it. Why now? Especially with YouTube. I'd always, guys, this guy mind I'm working there. I thought I told you. Let's not be there. Or maybe I'm the one who's there more than you guys because I know what it's but anyway. Um why now, right? Now because I always planned to have a YouTube channel that would be nicely linked to my blog. But because I took time off, I feel like I kind of don't want to waste time anymore and do the eventually situations when it comes to my blog. It's happening now. It is what it is now. We're gonna do this now, right now, where we are, messy as it is, hectic as it is, disorganized as it is, and we will get there where we are going eventually while doing this though. Ha ho sena nako ya go ema. Hey, it's either we do it or we just don't anymore at this point. So we are doing it. We're here. It's happening. Another one, remote work. Why did I go into remote work? I did mention prior that I grew up with chronic migraines. So because of that, it actually affected my academics as well. And a lesson I learned, you could say early or late, depending on how you see the situation, was that I work best remotely. Um, there are no triggers, there are no unnecessary disturbances. Let me just make a quick example. Small smells were one of my hectic triggers. It still is a trigger now, but now the migraines are better. So I can just pop a Panado or something and it will be manageable to a point where I can kind of flow through the day until I go home and kind of deal with the entire situation as it is. But then, strong smells, guys. You would get into public transportation, a shuttle, a taxi, whatever. And someone, guys, we love our perfumes, as we should. You know, you want to smell good, you want to smell nice. But guys, you love them just a bit too much. And at that point in my life, it felt insensitive because you're not using these modes of transport by yourself. The other people here who have triggers and whatnot. Okay, guys, let me deal with this. I'll be back. I'll be back. Just 1 second. Okay, so triggers, ne? So yeah, you would no. Okay, guys. Okay, we're gonna try this again, and if we get fussy, I might have to wait for a longer time. Hold on. Still not pause it. Not pause it. She doesn't need to be standing. She's not standing right now. Okay. As I was saying, triggers, right? So you be in that situation where now you're in public transportation and I get triggered. Now my entire week, not day, my entire week has gone to. You know what I'm saying? It's gone because of that one trigger. And it disrupted a lot. I did not like how things were looking. And so I decided to go remote as I could at that point. And things got better. You know, I mean, it's been a good chunk of years later. It was a slow process, but now my remote situation is going good. At the same time, the migraines are going even better. I'm not even on medication for those things anymore. You know, besides a bit of help here and there, you know, on those days where I do get proper triggered. Now, that's why I went into remote work. And now, as I mentioned, they've gotten better. But I'm a mom now. And I kind of don't want to be away from my babies at the moment. It is two under two after all. But as they grow up, things might change. But right now, I'm enjoying the not luxury, but there is a certain amount of luxury there. I'm enjoying the control that I have over my time. I'm not forced to wake up at 4 so that I can be at the office at 7 or 8, and then I'm back home at 4 or 5 or 6, and then I try to fill up whatever smaller bit of time I have interacting with my kids. We wake up when we wake up. Right now, because of tiny, we wake up when we wake up because we have a lot of wakings at night. And once we're up, luckily Teletubby has people she can be with in the morning when she wakes up and goes through her morning routine. We join her. I'm with my kids. I'm at home. I'm being a mom. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I do take time out to work on whatever that needs working on that day for clients, and we move, and because of that, deadlines are important, so I make sure I have the work done 2 or 3 days before the deadline comes up. And if I fail at doing that, I will communicate, we will adjust, and we move. But yeah, you know I know for a fact, well, I know because I'm the one who does it, but every night after everyone's bedtime, I'm talking the times, after their bedtime, I give myself an hour or two just to focus on work. That's my strict, legit, no nonsense work time. So, whatever might happen during the day, whatever may disrupt my flow during the day, when that work needs to be done, it will be done. If it means I'll be sleeping for 2, 3 hours that night, it is what it is. We'll move tomorrow. So there's just a whole lot of flexibility that comes with remote work. And that's why I went to it. I enjoy it. I love it. It has its challenges, like any other thing. I think the biggest challenge that most, not just freelancers, but also virtual assistants that we face, basically we're freelancers as well, if you think about it. But yeah, most challenges we faced was COVID. COVID, COVID disrupted a lot for so many. And honestly, at the end of the day, we're grateful and blessed that we're still here with our kids, with our partners, with our families. So everything else we built it the first time, we will rebuild it again, because hey, at least there's never any blueprint. It's not like you're doing it at a vacuum like when we first started. But yeah, challenges that come with working remotely, especially as a mom of two under two. I touched on a bit of it, that you kind of have to work when the babies are sleeping. Right now they don't have similar sleep times, nap times during the day. And during the day, it's Big Sis who's up and making it known that she's up, you know? And she has her nap there, but it's Big Sis who is moving around a lot. And in the evenings, it's baby now, because he cannot sleep for such long periods of time. He wakes up, dirty diaper, wet diaper, um, he needs a bottle, he needs to be fed. So at most, we'll go to sleep for like 4 hours, but that can be managed. So that's why those days where they both go to sleep at the same time at night, which has been happening mostly, Kabare, baby Nyana is kind of getting integrated to the bedtime routine and the big sis. It helps because I do have my 2 hour stretch, the 2 hour stretch that I did mention. I do have that 2 hour stretch. And now that I have that, there's a billion of control, but also you cannot have a set timetable where, oh, I work from 9 to 12 undisturbed. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. Today you will do it. Tomorrow someone's gonna be crying because they want this. And plus, excuse, Big Sis here is getting into the homeschooling system. So she has her own schedule that she has to keep to. And baby has his own natural flow schedule that it's again. And then there's all of us. So the biggest challenge right now is that no schedule is not scheduling. But once we get to that, things will get better. But right now, we touch where we touch and we can where we can. And at the end of the day, if you're going to be disappointed and angry at yourself and be feeling disappointed, ma'am, sir, you are emptying your cup yourself. It's not a time yet half empty. Right now, it's just a matter of saying it's half full because that's the mindset we need in life. Um, Also now going a bit personal, what is my biggest fear? My biggest fear is setting my kids up for failure. And I'm not saying it in a sense where I don't take them to the best schools or I don't expose them to the best which is also important that you do all of those things. But my fear now comes in a sense where I might give my kids the wrong blueprint of being an adult. Remember, kids are learning how to life from us, babies. And I think especially at this age, I would toddler you kind of can see some of your not so good traits. God, they're going to model that. And it's also a reminder, le ge ba ka gola, and they have the sense to filter themselves and they're now starting to pack themselves up in a nice package. Innately, what they know is what you taught them. And unless they relearn and reparent themselves, they're screwed. So my biggest fear is to put my kids in a position where they have to reparent themselves so they can exist happy and comfortably in life as adults. That is my biggest fear. And that's probably why when Teletubby was born, I felt it is important that I work on whatever it is that I don't want her to be. Like if I'm that and I have that, then I have to start putting in the work for her and for me as well, but for her and for him. So they don't learn that, or rather, they can see that, okay, we learn to be better. You know what I'm saying? I can if I'm expressing myself properly here, but yeah, no, that's my biggest fear. That's my biggest fear. Also, the next one, how do I deal with failure? Um, when it came to failure, it used to cripple me. It used to cripple me to a point of the fear of it happening would literally stop me from even moving in the first place. And the one physical thing that I did to kind of work on my fear of failure was putting myself up in positions where I can be rejected or I can fail. That's when pageantry kind of came into the picture proper. I entered pageants. I put myself in positions where, of course, I want to win. You do not enter a pageant with the intention of making it to the top 20. You want to go all the way as further as you can. And the last pageant that I entered, actually, let me say this: there are 4 pageants that I entered, all of which had a different role to play. The first one was a very local home-based pageant, and that one just kind of told me to get out of my shell and get out of my head. The second one I entered the situation. Um, that one just proper taught me you are all the resources you need. You are all the resources that you need. Do you want to do this? Basically, that was it. Because all these things that they had us doing, at the end of the day, it was up to you, not up to what resources I have, what resources I can have access to. That obviously, to a certain extent, you do need external resources, but most of it was you. It was like a sales kind of situation. Can you convince people to support you? Can you convince someone to help you with those resources that you do not have to actually, you know what I'm saying? So you are your most important resource. That's what I learned with my second one. My third one was you need to stand for something. The third pageant that I entered, what I learned from that one was you need to stand for something. You cannot just be in a vacuum or just going with the flow. You need to stand for something. That's important. And the last one that I entered was use your voice. Speak, use your voice, say something. Don't just be there, momo koning, and you're just observing and you know. And all of these played a very important role when it came to failure. So now I guess I'm in a point where I'm putting all of these into practice. We're failing, we're succeeding. And if you think about it, with the blog thing as well, because I had my highs and then I had my lows, and then I kind of pick up and then I go back down again. I pick up. So you could say, with how I deal with failure is I give my chance, I give myself a chance to mourn, to cry, to go through the motions, dust myself off, and try again. Sometimes it takes 10 years to even get to the trying again route. Sometimes it takes a day. Sometimes it takes a couple of hours. Sometimes you get what I'm saying? And there is no timeline of how well someone can deal. It all depends on the person, and I guess how badly you want something. Going back to my blog situation, I've tried this 4 times. And you could argue that I'm about to try for the 5th time because I've been inactive for so long. But the difference that I'm going to do now from here is I'm not going to restart. I'm not going to redo. No, I'm just going to pick up where I left off and see where we go now. Because these redoings, that's now putting us in a cycle that is not nice. So we try to move away from those ones, those cycles. Okay, and then another question. This one, I could say that I don't even know why I added this question here, but when I tried to scratch it off, I was like, what's like, no, you're gonna do this. You're gonna talk about this. My most embarrassing moment. Yeah. Hi guys. Hey. My most embarrassing moment was in high school. I don't think I was in grade 8. I was probably in grade 9, but maybe it was grade 8. I get sure. Grade 8 or grade 9, one of them. But I thought I was the when it came to dancing. Guys, I was convinced Borobona. No one's gonna tell me otherwise. No one was going to tell me otherwise. I was that. And so me and myself, I went to this other chick who could dance. Oh, she could dance. I went to her and I was like, yeah, dance battle. I went to her and I was like, yeah, dance battle. And then they go pump you, guys. If we went to high school together and you were there either 2008 or 9, you know this. You know this. And you're probably one of the kind ones who never came and laughed in my face about what I did or made a mockery out of me. Actually, I would actually like to thank everyone who was there at that period because it eventually died down. I was grade 8, grade 9, like I said. So I still had years to be in that school. But no one used this particular incident to put me in my place. Because Nani ki papel. Oh God, Neki papela. And I honestly do not understand how I got over that moment. There were others, but this was the most. For me, this was the most. There were others. The other one that I can remember was someone who lurile. I did my hair, and it was so ridiculously horrible. But I didn't take it out. I went to school with that hair every day, and I just left it there. And I still remember how I felt because I was like, whew, finally. But that hair, guys, that hair, yeah. To this day, a certain part of me still says, you couldn't have survived high school only to come crash and burn outside of it. Because if you could walk with your head held high after all of these other situations that happened in school. Excuse me. Why can't you do that now? You're acting better, you're acting right. You can actually walk away from people that don't feed into you. Quite an early body, there was no walking away from nothing. So you would sit there and endure until you know. So if you could survive that, how then can you crash and burn outside where you can walk away from things that are shaking? You go to your safe space, recuperate, or you know, um, and then come back. But I guess that's life. It's part of learning. It's one of the mantras that keep me up when I feel about you know. But yeah, last and final question: what type of content should you guys expect from me? Basic. I'm a mom, I'm a homemaker, and I'm a remote worker. The content that you guys can expect from me is lifestyle based, but mainly on the wellness part of it. So I'd say wellness content, revolving around motherhood, about being a homemaker, and also around remote working. So your self care tips, your homemaking tips, cooking. I'm not a chef, and I'm not someone who will raise their hand more about who wants to cook A, B, C, D, and E. But I do cook for my family, and I do try and invest in making what they eat look good and taste good. So that's what I'm going to get into. And now also got a tiny when the time comes for him to start eating. I probably might share my tips and how I'm going about introducing him to solids and whatnot. But yeah, that's the type of content you guys can expect. There's also one fun project I want to do in the space, but like on my channel as well, which I would like to share with you guys. When everything has kind of been sorted for that one, I will let you know. It's a proper project. I don't want to say much about it now because I'm still in the planning stages of it. I still need to talk to A, B, C, D, and E and to see if I can have a team or I can do it by myself. Because difference is if I have a team, it can come quicker. If I'm doing it by myself, it's gonna take time. So I need to take into consideration all of these things. And like I said, I'm in a position where I'm slowly getting back into my own stuff outside of being a mom, outside of being a homemaker, and being a remote worker. So I'm reconnecting. I'm reconnecting with self. I'm reconnecting with Teletubby here. I'm reconnecting with the home, reconnecting with my partner, and continuing to connect with mini, tiny. So yeah. Anyway, that's about it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this and that you guys will stay for all the other videos that will be coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. I don't want to promise or to after how many weeks, but it's definitely going to come. I'm gonna try do it within a space of a month. I'm gonna try have the next video out within a month. And as we get used to editing and everything, it should then become more regular and more, yeah. But anyway, you guys enjoy your day, or your evening. And again, I appreciate you for dropping by and watching this video. I appreciate you even more for watching until this moment, until this end part, this moment right here. Because yeah, no, you went through all of my blah 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 blah, and I appreciate that very much. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you'll tune into the next video that I'll be putting up. In the meantime, let's connect, let's get to know each other. The comments are down below. You can also go check there by my Instagram. And I appreciate you. Lots of love. Enjoy your day. we here. Oh yes, I knew I was forgetting something. Now I know what I was forgetting. And please subscribe, like, and comment on my video and show me some love. Thank you.